So Gil Hill, who played Inspector Todd, passed away last year. He was in the Beverly Hills Cop film series that you were in. Can you share any moments or memories you have of him?
Oh, I'd love to. Gil was he was the technical advisor on the first one when Marty Brest, the director, went to Detroit to scout locations, and Marty, who has a great eye for casting, said, "Wow, you could really be Axel Foley's boss. Are you up to it?" He goes, "Yeah," and he was just full of life and funny and professional, and he also had a political career. He ran for mayor. I don't know how he did, but people loved him, and we loved him. And I really credit him with grounding the movie in a real reality, because not to go on about it, but you asked. I mean, you'd seen the scene that Gil had done with Eddie so many times before, the beleaguered boss, the put upon boss. And Gil really brought the real deal to bear,
He always said in media interviews that, Inspector Todd was a lot like him when he was a homicide detective, but he didn't cuss as much as Inspector Todd did in real life.
Well, he was a decorated officer, and we were so lucky to have him. And he was delighted to be there, and for the subsequent ones, too. And we got to be friends, and yeah, I was sorry to hear that he'd passed away. But he sure left his mark on the movies. I would have liked to seen him work more. Do you know that if he did any work other than the Beverly Hills Cop movie?
No, I know that he did the Beverly Hills Cop movie, then he ran for mayor and unsuccessfully, but he was very involved in the community in Detroit, and he loved the city a lot. I mean, he really did.
So that's why he didn't hang out in L.A. Now, like Dennis Farina was a Chicago detective first, and a wonderful actor. If Gil had wanted to do that, he could have done that, but he loved Detroit too much. So
I agree. I mean, to be honest with you, your role and Inspector Todd's were my two favorite roles out of the whole film series.
That's so great.
So if you would invite us over to your house and show us some of your favorite films that you have, what would we find in your DVD collection?
Oh, good question. Let's see. Well, this year we liked War Dogs a lot. And what were Fences.
Hell or High Water.
Hell or High Water was terrific last year. And Fences, Denzel Washington directing himself was, I got to be honest, I thought he got robbed. I mean, in terms of a movie that's going to last the ages, which is what I always think the best picture should be, the one that's really going to last, Fences was amazing. We were blown away by Denzel's performance and his directing.
Last year.
Last year, everybody should see this movie. It's called Wild Tales. It's a Spanish movie that the Coen brothers could have written. It's 4 different stories of revenge, some gone wrong. And if you don't mind subtitles, we're telling everybody about it because it's just so great.
Personal recommendation from Judge Reinhold and his wife. So, Daddy's Dyin was showing here at the Dallas International Film Festival.
Right,
Thank you so much for bringing this film.
Sure.
Tell us why everyone should come out to the theater tomorrow and watch this film with you.
Well, I'm really delighted to have people see Daddy's Dyin because at the time we made the film, it tested very well, it opened, and then the whole regime at MGM got canned. Everybody responsible for our film got canned, and so they pulled back on the promotional budget, and because nobody was there to take care of the film, and so it's kind of out of the vault for me, and I'm really proud of it. It's a funny comedy. It's very Texas-centric. It was written by a Texan very authentically. It was directed by a Texan, Jack Fisk, and Sissy Spacek's husband. They're from Texas, and it concerns Texans too. So I consider it authentic and funny and charming, and I can't wait to see it again with an audience.
Any plans of coming back to Texas to film any films or television?
Well, sure. You got any money? We got great scripts.
All right. Well, we'll get you in touch. So going forward, what's going on with you in the next 3 to 6 months?
Well, I have a movie called Highly Functional coming out with Bruce Campbell, who's a riot, and that's kind of a Rain Man-esque story between a very unlikely buddy picture, and it brings a light on autism too, and highly functional being the title. But this guy is this young man is highly functional, but he's given to real magical thinking, So and then Bruce is his cohort, and they bounce off together really well. Bruce plays an aging rock star who's playing casinos, and I play his old manager, and I shaved my head off for the role. It was scary. I went bald. Just like this. No. Sorry. But I was afraid that it would be all lumpy and everything. Yeah. And it turned out okay.
Did she shave your head?
Oh, you want to show him a picture?
No.
Oh, you want to hold it? You want to see a picture?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
It's so wild. It's such a different look. I had to.
And while she's bringing that up, people do recognize you as Detective Billy Rosewood. How does it make you feel that people are coming up to you, now 20 plus years later, wanting to get to know you and wanting to discover you?
I'm very lucky because the film really, some guy at Paramount told me it's still on its first cycle around the world. It really hasn't stopped, and it's kind of a phenomenon. I mean, there are some technical reasons why you can come in the middle and watch some of it. You don't have to see the whole thing through, but people have really engaged with it. It's a part of their life now, and that feels great. It feels great. So
There we go. He's bald right there, folks. You saw it first. That's awesome.